Band and Guitar Hero are well used to tussling on home consoles like a pair of embarrassing old lager-fueled rockers. But so far, only Activision has braved the handheld mosh pit with the frankly wonky, gimmicky and unsatisfying On Tour. With the PSP stage clear, Harmonix is staking its claim to a headline spot with Rock Band Unplugged, that's aiming to deliver the multi-instrument Rock Band experience on a single screen using just a D-pad and buttons. Will it work? We crowd-surfed across a room full of stinking games journalists to ask Harmonix man Alex Navarro.
I think the thing about the miniature peripheral thing is that it just doesn't really make you feel like a rock star. You know, it's like the reason you play something like Rock Band is because you want to, like, you know, feel that guitar or play the drums or whatever. So with something like the PSP, just using the buttons just feels like a much more natural fit. Like finding a way to sort of interact with your music on the go that doesn't require you to sort of like dance around on the train while playing, you know, your PSP in kind of an awkward way. People like on our forums constantly are talking about how, you know, they wanted a frequency sequel or an amplitude sequel, and, you know, those games were awesome, you know, and it just looking for the right opportunity to kind of bring that style of gameplay back. You know, there just hadn't been that opportunity for a while, but now it's like, you know, we're doing a handheld title, that control scheme and that style of gameplay kind of feels natural within the fit of the PSP. You know, you take the Rock Band aesthetic, kind of combine them together, and they work in this kind of like inexplicably awesome way that just fits together really nicely. So the basic premise is that you are effectively a one-man band. You're controlling all four of the different instrument tracks throughout the song, and what we do is we've broken each track out by phrases. So when you hit a certain combination of notes perfectly on one track, that track will disappear, and the game will sort of signal to you, hey, time to switch the track. And you do that just by pressing the trigger buttons on the PSP, and you just jump back and forth at will. And sort of the inherent strategery of the game is that, you know, when you're on a track that's really difficult, you know, you can kind of move to another one for a little while and leave that other track alone until you kind of regain your bearings, get a streak going, and then go back. So it's, you know, it's this constant, what we like to call like a plate spinning act, where you have to constantly keep track of each one and make sure they're all balanced and working and playing. So the track list is made up of a combination of factors. It's sort of what we're calling a greatest hits collection of songs from our Rock Band 2 soundtrack, our DLC catalog, and then there are 9 tracks on the game that are never before playable, that are exclusive to the PSP for a limited time. Some of those include, you know, old Rock Band mainstays like Blink-182, What's My Age Again, Alice in Chains' Wood, Tenacious D's Rock Your Socks, and of course Freeze Pop, one of the personal favorites of people who've known our games for a while. And then we have a couple of newcomers like Three Doors Down, Audioslave, and my personal favorite, the Jackson 5, ABC.
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. All simple as do, re, mi. ABC, nice and easy, love and me.
DLC is going to be a huge thing for us, and this is like the first time any PSP title in North America or Europe has had like an in-game commerce system like this. So just log on through the Wi-Fi network on the PSP, or you can go onto the PSN store on your PC, and you can just download the tracks straight to the memory stick, and we'll have 10 tracks available at launch. We're not going to do weekly DLC with this one like we did with the console titles, but we do plan to add a pretty substantial amount of content over time.
If you're still struggling to get your head around the concept, here's us putting the game through its paces on hard difficulty. Drums, bass and guitar work just as you'd expect if using a standard controller. What did throw us at first is matching button presses to vocals, which follow a far freer rhythm than, well, the rhythm section. While Rock Band Unplugged cannot hope to replicate the orgiastic thrill of the full setup, the brain-busting job of keeping all parts on the go at once is certainly a unique take. Elsewhere in Rock Band land, of course, there's another game coming on what is probably the most exciting day in the lives of fans of a certain bunch of amiable scousers.
It's going to be a hell of a day for all Beatles fans.
How pumped to the team to be involved with that project?
Dude, like everyone has been like super over the moon ever since we announced the thing. You know, it's like people have been itching to talk about it for so long, and now that like info is finally out there, we can say, look, this is what we're doing, this is what we're working on. And it's super awesome, and it's like being able to actually work with, you know, the shareholders in the Beatles, you know, the surviving members and the widows and like the people at Apple Corp is just, it's just a phenomenal and really humbling thing.
And who's the best Beatle?
No comment.
No need.
I'm a PR guy, man. I can't take sides. Can't take sides. The thing that makes it exciting is that, you know, it's a way to sort of interact with your music on the go that makes sense, but it still like engages you with the songs that you know and love, and it's a hell of a good time.